What is it about the smell of homemade bread that is so irresistible? This recipe is easy to make, it's moist, and it tastes great. Let's learn how to make homemade bread so you can have your house smelling just like a bakery. First, we are going to combine the sugar, yeast, and warm water to a large bowl. Stir it well and let it sit until it becomes frothy, about 10 minutes. The water needs to be between 110 and 115 degrees. If the liquid is too hot, there is a risk of killing the yeast. If the liquid is too cold, the yeast will not activate properly and the dough will rise too slowly or not at all. Your body temperature is about 98 degrees, so the water should feel just warm to your skin. This is our yeast after 10 minutes, nice and frothy. We're going to add 1 egg, salt, coconut oil. If you don't have coconut oil, you can use vegetable or canola oil. Mix that all up together. Now we're adding our flour, 1 cup at a time. We're gonna mix that well after adding the flour because we don't wanna add too much flour at one time. Do this until the dough pulls away from the sides and is just slightly sticky. Don't add too much flour or your bread will be dry. Nobody likes dry bread. When most of the flour has been added, place the dough on the counter with flour to prevent it from sticking. Then we're gonna knead the dough for about 10 minutes and we'll add more flour if needed. This is developing the gluten, which is giving our bread strength and structure. Put the dough back into the bowl, then we'll cover it with a kitchen towel and let it rise for 45 minutes. After the 45 minutes, punch down the dough and let it rise again for 45 minutes. Once again, after the 45 minutes, sprinkle flour on the counter and knead the dough for a minute. Spray 3 bread pans with cooking spray so that your bread doesn't stick to the pans. Divide the dough into 3 equal balls. Taking one of the balls of dough, with my fingers I push the dough into the shape of a rectangle. Make sure there is a little bit of flour under the dough so it doesn't stick to your counter. Taking the dough closest to me, I roll it up, squeezing out the air bubbles and then tuck in the ends into the inside. Once it is rolled up into a loaf, I turn it over and seal the ends together so it doesn't unroll. Do this to the other 2 loaves. Cover with a towel and let it rise for 30 minutes or until about double in size. Bake the bread for 30 minutes and immediately remove them from the bread pans and let them cool on a cooling rack. I like to brush butter across the tops of the loaf to give them a beautiful shine and to add extra flavor. Once the bread has cooled, slice it up and lather a generous helping of butter and honey. Now you don't just get to smell something irresistible, you get to enjoy it. Leave me a comment below telling me what you like to eat on your homemade bread. Remember to subscribe so together we can strengthen our families through food. We'll see you in the next video.